Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me. This is the second video in a series where I rig and animate the mascot for Blurt box. I'm loving this song, by the way. Oh, who is this? Dan Leibowitz. Brilliant. Alright, Dan's music is setting the tone for today's episode. I'm pumped, I'm psyched for this. We are going to continue rigging the character for this channel. Alright, so just a quick recap from the last episode. We rigged the main torso of Blurt, the legs, the feet, and the eyes. And if you haven't seen that video, click in the description below and the link is there. It's a good starting point for what I'm doing and it gives some context for this video. So check it out. Today we are going to work on the hands, the arms, the mouth, and I'm going to redo the eyes because I didn't like the design of the eyes. Take a seat, grab a cuppa, and let's get into it. Alright, so I'm just going to start on the arm here. So what I did was I duplicated one of the legs, and I'm going to use that as the base for the arm. I mean, the legs and the arms, it's a cartoon, so it's just kind of the same thing. And I'm going to delete that foot and start drawing the hands. So hands are pretty tricky, as you can see by the amount of times I have to redraw a hand, one hand. It's good to use reference. And reference doesn't have to be, regular human hands. I like to look at other artists, how they draw hands. One of my favorite is Milk Cole. He's brilliant. I love Milk Cole. He's the best. Look at these hands. Not those hands. I mean the way he draws hands. These ones. Look at them. They're so good. This is from Sword in the Stone. I don't know. Anyways, we're drawing hands. Focus. Okay, so now I'm drawing the other hand on the other side. This is from a different angle. This is the palm side up. And I'm struggling with the thumb here. So these are vector lines. So I usually get the line shape down, and then I'll go in with the vector Beziers and I'll adjust the drawing. Wow. So every time I am creating a new hand, I basically duplicate the existing hand that's there, and then I erase it and draw another one on top. And every time you duplicate the drawing, it appears in the library tab. Brilliant. Alright, so I got a hand shape I like, and now I'm just gonna clean it up and make it look pretty and presentable. And I colored it. Yeah. And then I'm gonna draw the other hand. I don't know what happened to the footage of me drawing that hand physically, but just imagine I drew it. And I drew it on the first try, which I absolutely did not. And now I'm drawing an open hand, the fingers splayed out. It looks kind of terrible right now. I'm gonna clean it up. Okay, with that done, I'm just checking to see how the hand moves around. Now I also added a cutter on the shoulder to sort of pop that arm into the torso and to neaten it all up. Alright, so now we're going to add deformers to the body. All the bits, so side bit, front bit, back bit. There's a quick way of doing that actually, and I'm going to show you right now. So I go up top, click on animation, and then envelope creator, and it automatically creates points based on the shape. You can also adjust it so you can have more points, less points, no points. And now I'm going to apply it to every side of the box. And so that means I can now stretch and squash him and make him look more cartoony. All that fun stuff, Alright, so I'm going to start creating the mouth now. There's going to be a couple of layers to the mouth. I explained cutters in the last video, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the outside pieces and then apply a cutter on the outside of the lips, and then I'm going to draw the teeth and the tongue inside, and then I'm going to cut those out, and it should look pretty good, hopefully. So the color I use for the teeth is a sort of off-white. You don't want them perfectly white. Well, I don't anyways. If they're like pure white, it makes them look like bleached teeth. It's more appealing if they're slightly off-white. Okay, and now for the tongue. So for the tongue, I'm just going to throw in an oval shape, and then I'm going to color it and give it some detail, some sort of, you know, like taste bud looking circly things, and just make it look more appealing. And that sort of dark reddy brown square is the back of the mouth. So I'm applying the color mask here. It's a light green, just so I know that is the mask. And then when I attach a color to the mouth with a color node, and then invert the color, what it does is it makes everything inside the mouth disappear when it's outside the mouth. Here it is uninverted. And there you go, look at that. Wow. It's coming together, ladies and gentlemen. Here I am adding the details to the tongue, and I'm going to draw another tongue so I have the option when I lip sync this later. So this tongue is going to be useful for more exaggeration, maybe if he's yelling, or he's going to be making a "l" sound. I can sort of push it up and press it against the teeth when I lip sync. So now I'm going to add the details on the character. Moving boxes have a couple arrows at the top, like here, and so I'm going to add those to Blurt. So I'm just setting up the node view right now so I can do that. And now I'm just adding some small details around it. And I'm going to add some shading around those shapes just to give it a bit more life. Alright, we're going to add some tape now just to sell the idea that it's a box. So the reason why I'm doing this is to sell the idea that it's a box, that it's, you know, worn in, it's been used before, and it just gives it a bit more life and character. And then I'm going to apply a transparency to it because, you know, tape is transparent. And then, yeah, that's looking pretty good, I think. Alright, so I draw a drop shadow here, and then I'm going to get on to different mouth shapes. Nice. So there's tons of mouth shapes. As you can see by this mouth chart by Preston Blair, this is a good example of the range of mouth shapes you can have for a character. I won't put this many on Blurt, but yeah, it's a good example. Alright, so I'm drawing in a mouth here. I'm just trying to get the right shape. This would be a neutral mouth, and you would use it for letters like M, B, and P. And I think I kind of like that, actually. Yeah. And now I'm doing an O mouth, and that will also be good for Q's and W's. And this one's an R kind of mouth. Alright, so I said earlier that I was going to redesign the eyes. I didn't really like the original design, the big bulgy eyeballs. It felt, I don't know, it didn't feel that stylized, and he's a character that's not really going to emote that much. He's just going to jump around, kind of walk, say a couple of things. So I decided to give him a couple of raisin eyes, just because I think it looks better. Okay, so I figured them out, and now I'm going to add the texture to it, shape them out. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright. And now I'm going to add some textured colors to Blurt. I'm going to add them around the edges and the corners just to give it a little bit of something. Let's talk about brushes. I like the brushes in Harmony, and I'm animating on an older version, but the newer version, Harmony 22, has more variety. And you have your regular brushes, plain Jane, and then, you know, as you go down, there's ink brush, wax crayon, textured wash. Yeah, that's cool. What else? Cross hatching, wet splotches, dry splotches. I think you get the idea. Yeah. Alright then, so I clean up the paintbrush and make it look all spiffy. I turned down the opacity so the paintbrush wasn't as harsh. And now I'm going to start working on the top head bit. Okay, so I'm just going to do the head bit here. I After this, I'm going to start drawing different eye shapes. And interesting eye shapes is what sells the character. When people watch characters emote, they watch the eyes like 75% of the time. Probably, you know. 75 sounds about right. I have no idea. I just made that up. But that's definitely correct. I'm also going to do some upside down sort of smiley eyes and some reverse eyes, just to give it a bit of variation. Okay, so I'm going to take the teeth now and I'm going to redraw it so we have a sort of closed teeth for t sounds, and you know, when he's smiling, and clenched teeth. Yeah. And then, you know, pretty much done. Just gonna finish coloring it here. Yeah, pretty much done. Oh, okay. Well, that was exhausting. That was a lot quicker than the last video. I got rid of a lot of the fluff and the nonsense I was talking. But thanks for watching this video. The next one is an exciting one. I cannot wait because we are going to start animating Blurt. And I don't think I'm going to do another... builds video. Not for a while, because I'm not a builds artist. I'm an animator. So I only know the basics around builds. I probably should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Cheers.